I would not consider a hatchet to be an unusual weapon in a horror movie. It's just compared to some of the more famous ones, this one's just kind of like one that's in the second place podium. And then you compare that to some of the other stuff, like a sleeping bag or a carrot nose or cotton candy gun from Killer Clowns. This one feels like the 21st century version of a kind of underrated axe, in my opinion, especially when it's seen in Hatchet 3. And oh boy, do things get ballistic in this one. So, a lot of characters have passed on. And I mean, the body count is freaking high. They say 25, 30. So, Mary Beth, played by Danielle Harris, appears at a police station. And she's got the scalp of Victor Crowley and a murder weapon and everything else. And she gets incarcerated. Of course, she gets incarcerated. And what follows is like they're doing an investigation into who is truly causing a disturbance. So, like saying, oh, Crowley's nothing more than a folk legend or what's happening. And lo and behold, in comes a third person who has been researching everything going on of the legends of Victor Crowley. I'm like, okay, now this is what I wanted to see. This is the proper conclusion, in my opinion, to it. This is like, okay, so now we have her, the journalist. We have the lady. We have the girl who's locked in the holding cell. And then we have the LAPD, Louisiana Police Department going down. They all pretty much just get slaughtered, but in a good way, I guess, just like how, to fit in with the story. So this felt like everything just comes and it just combines into a finale that just works well. I think with this movie, it's like obviously the body count gets higher and higher, and I'm like, okay, good. I mean, you have the paramedic team and you have the cops coming in, and then, it's like you get some, I guess heat would be the word between them. I'm like, okay, so we have the heat going on. I'm like, what else is going to be happening? Well, obviously, it's about like, oh, say all the paramedics are the last to arrive, and we, the cops, are the first. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe there's some like legitimate heat going on down there. I don't know, but that doesn't mean jack. Once the man himself comes in and just starts tormenting everyone, the carnage in this is just absolutely freaking insane. I mean, in between just eliminating a whole bunch of people, throwing them around, and just causing havoc. I'm like, all the meanwhile, we have a journalist, we have a heroic cop, and Mary Beth as they try and get the ashes of Victor's father, Thomas, because this movie must have taken place, like the events must have taken place roughly, I don't know, like 30 years ago, I would say. So they go to the only living relative of Thomas. I forgot what his name was. And I said, yeah, we need your ashes and blah, blah, blah. Ultimately, they do manage to take it. By the way, that guy is played by Sid Haig, Hiag. I forgot what he's famous for, but I do recognize that name. And so what happens is absolute brutality. I mean, whereas the first two is just, just trying to, him just defending his turf. It's like now he's just completely unhinged, going as far as to, and I don't know why, I just like the intensity in the ambulance where, Perry Chen's character, this time playing a paramedic, along with another cop and some females, like they're within the confines of an ambulance. Ironically, it's supposed to save their life, but it's the only thing keeping them alive. So you can just imagine the amount of jokes. All the meanwhile, there's a sand belt grinder or whatever. Kind of, what was at the ending? I think he was at the ending of cutting classes. He's trying to literally cut into an ambulance to help to terminate their lives, which I just found to be ironic. And there's just so much sparks in there where all this freaking chaos is going on. It's freaking great. And oh boy, let me tell you. When you get the final standoff between Mary Beth, the cop, and the journalist, it's absolutely intense. There's the iron, there's the ashes, and everything. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh boy. So it's like this is what the finale is 100%. Oh, and ultimately at the end, Mary Beth's fate is unknown as a hero to Zulf because he's reunited with his father's cremains. Holy smokes! I mean, 90 minutes. This is a thrill ride. You know, obviously you have just all the brutality and everything on. You have so much blood. You have like like my personal favorite is when people's like skeleton gets pulled out and you see the skin and everything all the while they're still alive. It's just like Jesus Christ. This person just does not mess around. He's a freaking force of nature. Kane Hodder did an excellent freaking job in this. My goodness. I mean, dang. Yeah. Hodder said this was the most challenging. What is that? Character of his life because of 30 pounds of makeup plus in the hot sun and everything else. Plus he was in his 50s or whatever at the time. So yeah, definitely intense. But yeah, listen, you know, obviously with so much blood and everything and all the stuff, all these moving parts coming in, it all works well. That's what I've noticed. And again, this is a movie about a serial killer who has myths about him in Louisiana or lore. But yeah, you know, if you can stomach all the pain, if you can stomach all the blood and everything like it, then I highly recommend you watch Hatchet 3.